Hello and welcome, my name is Chris from christopherhole.com. Welcome to this video where we're going to be talking about what are lifestyle diseases and how can we overcome them. This is only going to be a short video, so it's not going to go into a great deal of depth, but it is going to highlight and overview this subject to allow you to gain some insight and also possibly further investigate it using the internet or using the people you know, other professionals, so on and so forth. So in this video, I'm going to answer three questions. The first one is what are lifestyle diseases? The second one is how did it happen or how does it happen? And the third one is going to be how do we overcome it? So to answer the first one is quite simple. What are lifestyle diseases? Well, they are a disease associated with the way a person or group of people live their lives. So it could be different throughout the world because cultures and societies live their life slightly differently, which will then elicit a different type of lifestyle disease. But certainly in our developed Western world, we are seeing examples of atherosclerosis, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease, obesity and diabetes. Now, we know heart disease is one of the biggest killers on the planet, and also obesity and diabetes are very prominent and fast-growing illnesses and diseases in the Western world. So there's some examples of them. So how do these lifestyle diseases happen, or how did it happen to you, or how does it happen in the world? Well, first of all, as a very broad overview, is that it happens over time. Now, I always say they're low grade and they're chronic. So chronic means it happens over a long period of time, and low grade means it goes under the radar. So we don't really know it's happening. When we're eating all these bad foods in our 20s, we think we're getting away with it. We don't realise that there's going to be potentially some remnants left there over a period of time that's going to be slowly clogging up our arteries, or slowly adding to our obesity, or slowly adding to our diabetes in 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 or 50 years time. So I always say it happens over time. So these are illnesses or diseases that we don't necessarily get, but we do them. So it's very important that in early life we are set up the right way, and even in your life now, if you're of a slightly older age, then your body has a very unique way or very miraculous way that it can turn things around. So it's very much, if you do the wrong thing, you get the outcome. If you do the right thing, you get the outcome, if you will. So it's all to do with things we eat, how we exercise, and the mindset. And the mindset is our thoughts towards the foods that we eat, or our relationship with the food we eat, or the relationship or the way we think about exercise and things like that. Because if we think about it a certain way, we tend to do it. If we think about it a different way, we tend not to do it, if that makes sense. So that's just, I guess, sort of a broad overview of what they are and how they happen. Now, for the third question is, how do we overcome them? Well, first of all, and again on a very broad perspective, we have to prioritise a healthier lifestyle. So that's things like eating certain foods, making time for being active and exercise. But as a way of sort of getting to that point where we can prioritise it, is first of all we've got to know where we are. So I always use the example of when we're taking a journey. We live in one city and we want to get to another city. We know we live in that city, we know the other city that we want to get to, and then we drive along that road. Now, if I say go to Los Angeles or London or Paris or Sydney or wherever it may be, but if we don't know where we are, if we don't know where in the country we are, then we'll never know where we need to go, if that makes sense. So the first thing is always know where you are, know your numbers. What is obesity? Do you know you're obese, or are you just overweight, or are you just carrying some extra body fat? Do you know your blood pressure? Do you know your blood sugar? Do you know your blood cholesterol? The next thing is to know where you want to go. So if you are overweight or obese, okay, so we know that number. We know that you are, let's just say, 30% body fat, and being a healthy body fat is, let's just say, 18%. So we know we want to lose 12% body fat. So we know where we are, we're at 13, we know where we want to go, which is 18. Now what we've got to do is the final step, which is to build a flexible plan to get there. And that, in a sense, takes a bit of time, because we'll have some ideas of how to do it and we'll start working towards them. Then we might come up against some roadblocks or some challenges that we need to overcome before we can move on. So that might make the plan mould and change ever so slightly. And what I'm also going to do in the next video is I'm going to break down into obesity, then we're going to look at diabetes, and then we're going to look at heart disease and its associates, which is atherosclerosis, cholesterol, and blood pressure. So we're going to look at those in some separate videos. But hopefully that's just giving you an idea of this little series of videos. And I hope they're helpful, and I hope you get a little bit from them and you're able to make a change in your health or to someone that you know. So many thanks for watching. My name is Chris from christopherhole.com. I will speak to you in a future video.